And I have one of my all-time favorite guests. I haven't seen him in a long time. Even though I had like favorite guests, I mean, as I do, but Charlie, it's okay. I'll take it like that. It's Mr. Enoch Boateng. He's a life coach. Good morning.
Good morning, Dela.
How are we?
Oh, we are doing well.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yes, I miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too. The traffic was crazy getting here.
I can imagine,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Good.
Why not? Because of the love we have for you, we have a little time to spare. So let's get straight into the conversation. Personal financing. Why should we be bothered about it? Why?
Okay, so greetings once again to your viewers. I mean, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very particular about personal finance because if you take it at the national, corporate, and at the personal level, whatever runs the nation, it's finance. And that's why I keep saying that even nations are categorized on the basis of economics.
Okay.
So we have the first world and the third world nation on the basis of economics.
Okay.
So for me, my years of research, shows that, I mean, the basic index for quality life is your finance. But unfortunately, in our part of the world, when it comes to economics, we try to relegate everything in the hands of the government.
Yeah.
We feel that because the government is responsible for, putting up policies to dictate the pace of our economy, we feel that what happens at the national level should reflect at the personal level.
Yeah.
And that is what some of us are taking a nuanced approach that, hey, of course, your personal finance is your responsibility. The government is responsible for planning for the nation, but you are responsible for your personal finances. And so you need to take note, because at the center of every aspect of your life is finance.
True.
Your health, relationships, career development, your economics is pivotal. And so what I'm trying to, the awareness I'm trying to create is to let people understand that, hey, you are in charge of your finances. You've got to take personal responsibility. Regardless of what is happening around, you have to take personal responsibility.
That's great. So in taking personal responsibility, okay, listen, this is me. I went through the Ghanaian school system. I'm out, just got a job that pays, let's say, is these regular government, jobs that maybe starts from like maybe 800 or 1,000 cities. How do I start to plan my personal finances so that I'm not in debt and I'm also running my life swiftly, looking at how things are skyrocketing, but I'm also creating a future for myself? How do I start doing it?
You see, when you talk of personal finance, I normally talk about 3 streams of income.
Okay.
Because when you are designing your personal financial infrastructure, there are 3 basic streams of income. The first one is your job. The second one is either you have a business running for you, and the third one is your investing activities.
So your job,
Your
side hustle,
you have a business running for you, or the investment that you have made.
Okay.
I mean, these are 3 basic streams. I don't call them sources.
Okay.
Because I see you, Dela, as the source.
All right.
They are the streams. You are working in TV Africa. This is your job. But you are flowing through this job. Your capacities are flowing through this job.
Yeah.
And the money that you want will flow through this job for you.
Okay.
When you move out of this place, money will not flow from here to you. So if you have a business that is working for you, it's based on your capacities. So now back to your question. When you talk of job, our orientation for job is poor. There are 3 things that you get when you get a job.
Okay.
Normally, I tell people that people talk about having business plan, but I also talk about having a job plan.
Tell me about it.
If you want to get into a job, you should have a job plan. Most of us think that job is the main avenue for earning. For me, if I want to pick any job, the financials is the last thing for me to consider. And that is why I consider jobs as your short-term, solution to a long-term problem.
Okay.
Jobs are short-term. Why am I saying that? If you have a clear picture of your vision that this is where you want to get to the next 40, 50 years, then the job becomes a short-term. And so in picking up a job, what you should focus on, what capacities can you build with the job? So for me, knowing that I'll go into institutional entrepreneurship, I worked for 5 years without taking salary at the professional level. You know, I taught ACCA, I taught ICM, I taught most of the professional programs. Because the institution gave me scholarship, I mean, I also had to serve them for 5 years. And I wasn't taking any salary. It was only TNT. But you see, I understood that when I increased my learning capacity, of course, I also increased my earning capacity. And so I wasn't concerned about the money that was coming to me, even though I had a family at that time to take care of, you know. But I was more concerned about learning. So you could see me staying long hours in the office, getting access to the internet. Sometimes I could do about 15 courses overnight, doing courses from US State of Department, doing programs, psychology courses, philosophy courses online. Because the goal was that I needed to build my capacity. So the primary reason for picking a job is not only for earning. It has to be, is it going to sit within the context of your long-term career plan?
Then it means that we get it wrong.
We get it wrong.
Because first off, we haven't spent time with ourselves to find
100%.
out what we want to do. But Enoch, we're in a system where we choose careers for our children,
Sure.
or we're found in certain careers or career paths because our parents thought that that was great. You could be a nurse because, I mean, when you're done with nurse, ejuma wa homa, you know what I mean? And then your mom would mining sounds very great. It's like a shining star for everybody. So your parents would say, do something that is in line with mining, even if it is my entrepreneurship, something that links to mining, so that you're able to, enjoy some wealth when it comes to that place. How then do we rethink, or how do we put our minds right so that we're able to make the right decisions when it comes to job?
Okay, so I mean that's what some of us are also trying to do, because in Ghana here, the personal development industry is at its embryonic stage, or is at its nascent stage. It is now growing. If you go to the United States of America, for instance, last year, 2023, the personal development industry was worth $14 billion. When we talk about personal development, I'm looking at people going for courses.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of us go for programs like, I want to get a job, so I need to get information about job.
Like a job fair.
And getting a consultant who can also guide you. I mean, that is what I've been running for the past few years. I talk about, building your capacities for a job. Because today there is this whole fuss about entrepreneurship. But I can tell you for a fact, not everybody will start off as an entrepreneur.
That's right. Thank you. I love that point.
Some will start from the job level. And as I'm saying, you need to look at the capacities that you can build first. So for me, there are certain enticing jobs that will come regardless of the offer. If it doesn't sit within my long-term plan, I will reject it. And of course, not one, not two, not three, not four. There are a lot of job offers that everybody around me thought that, Charlie, this thing is a go for you. But I'll sit down, I'll do my skills and capacity assessment to see whether it sits within my long-term vision. The money is the last thing for me to consider. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So today, we are trying to let people come to the awareness that, hey, when it comes to job, it's a short-term solution. Whether you like it or not, you will leave. You will leave your job. So what capacities are you building? If you're working at a place and you're not building any capacities for your long-term vision, then of course you have to rethink. But of course, the whole idea is that go to school, get a job, get good salary. So the whole idea is about earning. We don't look at growth. We don't look at, personal development within the context. And so if you're in a company, the next 10 years, when you leave, when your exit time, comes, what plan do you have? Because definitely you will leave someday.
That's right.
When you are going to disengage, what is the next step for you? So for me, I think that you don't only consider the earning ability that comes with the work. You also have to look at the learning. Can you build certain networks in the job? And I always tell employees that when you have the opportunity to work in a company, think like an employer. Work like an employer, because someday when the time comes for you to leave, you still have the capacities of employer. Because most people think they are just working for somebody. In as much as we encourage employers to think like employees, so that they can create a good environment for employees to thrive. Employees also think like employers, so that they can be creative, they can solve problems, they can have the business at heart. But of course, in our part of the world, it's all about earning.
Yes, so it has to be earning, because we are yes. Yeah.
Your earning capacity will grow as you also build your learning capacities.
Well, that's very true. So now we have lots of people who are going back to school. I mean, the influx of people in schools now is really great. Most people will even want to go outside this country and go and study somewhere else so that they can, one, build their network, and also, I mean, and in actuality build their net worth.
Sure.
You get it. But my point is, we're talking Ghana, the perspective of job in Ghana. You probably would reject a job because of your mindset. You're thinking that, okay, I'm building a certain life for myself, I'm building something. But in a situation where your uncle looked after you and your parents make you feel like you need to complete school real quick, get a job so you can actually reduce their burden of them looking after you, and also now you are going to have the responsibility of looking after them. So most people get into jobs because it pays the bills, and then when they get into the job and the bills overweigh the salary they get, they start to do other shady things just to keep up. You understand? So my point is, how do we change this thing from, let's say, tertiary level before they get into the job market? How do we change? Is there anything in our educational system that we have to touch, or is there anything we have to do with the system so that it changes?
You see, when you are a systems thinker and you want to apply system thinking to solving a problem, I keep saying that when we say education system, it's very complex, and I always pay attention to the human being as a system.
Okay.
And that is why I am a firm advocate for personal development. You have to design your own educational recipe as an individual.
Great.
That is why I keep telling people that the systems you see out there, they are created to serve you. They are supplementary system. They are not the main system.
Okay.
Imagine you go through a standardized form of training, standardized form of education, standardized certification. 5,000 people go through the same programs in a year, with the same standard of measure of intelligence, with the same exam, with the same curriculum. If I have a business and I want to employ one of them, am I going to do so on the basis of certification?
No.
Or on the basis of certain extra capacities that they've built?
Okay.
So that's why I keep telling people that when you design your own educational plan, the formal system of education becomes a subset. It doesn't become the main thing.
Great.
Personal development holds that you don't relegate your education to the Ghana education system.
So we can be a part of the system, but we have a plan.
You see,
that's the reason I asked that question.
That's the main thing. You should have when I set out, I designed my own educational plan. I decided this is what I have to learn. And I keep telling people that because I was on the path of personal development, I said to myself, even though I will not go through the normal trajectory, I will still study what is within the normal domain, go extra mile. That's why sometimes we tell people that I have not been through the formal system, but viewers are listening. There are people who are probably listening to me that I have mentored them up to the PhD level, assisted them. Some of them are even having their work still on my table. We discuss with them. So you see, when we understand that we are bigger than any system that are created, with respect to the system. So for me, if I feel that the time has come and I need a certification in the formal system, I'll go for it. If I need to pick certain skills, I'll go for it. So you need to be in the driving seat. Nobody should drive your life. And this is where we want Ghanaians to come up to, that, hey, you are here to create your own experience. Nobody should dictate the pace of your life. So when it comes to education, when it comes to economics, when it comes to your growth, you have to be in the driving seat. Do you understand? But of course,
I love it.
We are twisted and turned by, people, influences, and the rest. But of course, why would you be, moved by? Why would you be influenced by people's, what people are saying, and then later you bear the consequences? There are a lot of people, they are stuck in a job and they are struggling, and they are feeling it. Those who advise you to go into it are not feeling it. You are feeling it. So why would you let somebody drive your life in the first place? It's not going to be easy, though. It's tough.
Wow, that's great. You see, we just scratched the surface, and I feel like this is why I miss you. See? Okay, so we started with job. I don't think we can continue because we haven't even finished with the job yet. Yeah. Why do you have to go for that job? What is your personal reason for going for that job? What do you hope to achieve achieve with that job, then we can now draw a personal plan for you. You don't want to go nowhere with these conversations. Thank you so much, Enoch. I really love this convo.
Thank you.
So this is where we draw the curtains for today. Richie, your sound is distracted. May you reduce it a little bit? Yeah. So this is where we draw the curtains for today. We'll see you tomorrow with the Breakfast Live Show. My name is Precious Biadala, and adios.
Baba God, I thank you. Still I go they shout out. Baba God, I thank you.
Can no obey. One more with Nimunguas never. The Christian Empire, but with Mississika. Make you seek for God in favor. Be bitchy, what you just pray to God in heaven. He go wipe away your sorrows. Make him with all your burdens. And I will pray a better day tomorrow. You the fight for that.